Bitcoin BTC minus 1.00%, dropped below $30,000 per coin in May. The question on everyone's mind is, can Bitcoin reach $100,000 by the end of 2022? While a 3.3 times increase in price may seem out of reach for many, this sort of growth is not unheard of, especially for Bitcoin. When Bitcoin dropped 40% in March 2020 due to COVID-19-induced market turbulence, it then rallied more than 10 times in the 12 months that followed. Past events are not a predictor of future performance, but we may be able to draw analogies to give us confidence in predicting the direction of the market. So let's see why Bitcoin will reach $100 in the year 2022. But before that, welcome back to your channel Crypto World, where you'll get all the crypto knowledge. And do remember that this video is not financial advice, so do your research before investing anywhere. So without any further delay, let's get started. I was thinking what if we discuss about Bitcoin and the fear that is created nowadays in public? It will actually help you guys to relate to the present conditions. As a result, help in better decision-making. Severe market downturns are accompanied by a general undertone of fear, while market exuberance is characterized by greed. Any fear and greed index will tell you that May 2022 is a period of fear, both in the Bitcoin market and the stock market. A low number means we're closer to total fear, and a high number means we're closer to absolute greed. The index hit a low of 10 in early May, which is a low number only comparable to the index of 8 hit on March 17, 2020. While the fear and greed index is just a superficial metric that gauges the overall sentiment of the market, it shouldn't be used to make or break your trading strategy. It simply provides a data point for evaluating the underlying market conditions. Professional traders and influencer investors like Robert Kiyosaki still think that Bitcoin has further to drop before making any sort of recovery. Kiyosaki predicts that Bitcoin could go to $17,000 or even as low as $11,000. These sorts of valuations actually hold water in the event that the stock market itself continues its downturn. As traders and institutional investors exit riskier positions, part of that could mean adding more sell pressure on Bitcoin. Since Bitcoin is still considered to be a risky asset, there may be insufficient buy-in volume to keep Bitcoin above $20,000. Also, you must be curious. Which trajectory is Bitcoin currently following? For the most part of 2021, Bitcoin witnessed an upward trajectory, which caused its price to rise above the $65,000 threshold, driving along the wider crypto market to cross the $3 trillion mark. But when the crypto market entered the slumber zone, the prices of all cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, plummeted. The cryptocurrency demonstrated an upward trajectory when Tim Bako exploded the news about launching the Ethereum upgrade around September. BTC continued its journey towards the $25,000 threshold, but seemed to have congested around $24,000. This metric was not adversely affected when the U.S. Federal Reserve undertook another session to raise interest rates and tackle inflation. But, quite surprisingly, the crypto took a downward turn to $22, proving that there is still immense volatility in its market movements and that investors should still be extremely careful before treading deep into the crypto waters. McGlone believes that BTC might actually be benefiting from these deflationary forces. He asserts that the token is actually more beneficial than we estimate it to be, and considering its current performance, it is most likely that the crypto will reach $100,000 in the upcoming months. In fact, he believes that the values of both Bitcoin and gold are expected to accelerate in the coming months. Now, our main point. How Bitcoin could reach $100 in 2022. It appears that Bitcoin, and the rest of the market for that matter, is in a significant downtrend with few options for recovery. Therefore, I think it is unlikely that Bitcoin will reach $100 by the end of 2022. However, there are a few triggers that could spur a classic Bitcoin rally and move the price higher. For example, when the stock market was crashing in March 2020, the Federal Reserve stepped in and implemented quantitative easing, arguably saving the market from inevitable collapse. Quantitative easing is the process of creating new money in order to buy bonds and securities. This stimulates the economy by reducing interest rates and keeping a base level of confidence in the market. If things get much worse in the regular markets, we could see a repeat of March 2020, leading to new inflows into public markets, including Bitcoin. Quantitative easing has historically led to market growth and a rise in the price of publicly traded assets. Bitcoin is not an exception here. After quantitative easing began in March of 2020, Bitcoin rose nearly 600% by the end of the year. The other trigger worth exploring is the continuation of adoption of Bitcoin at the institutional and governmental level. Historical Bitcoin bull runs have been largely a result of supply squeezes in combination with increased retail buyer demand. But now there's a strong value proposition for countries and businesses alike looking to shield themselves from systemic inflation of their respective currencies. Bitcoin still carries the narrative of being an effective store of value despite the 50% downturn from all-time highs in late 2021. Under this narrative, companies like MicroStrategy, Nasdaq MSTR, and Block Nasdaq SQ continue to purchase Bitcoin in order to beat inflation and preserve the buying power of their treasuries over multi-year time spans. So when will Bitcoin hit the $100,000 mark? Experts say that it has been quite easy to predict when Bitcoin will reach $100,000, given its previous engagements with some of the top brands in the world and rapid increase in market value. Most skeptics believe that the value of BTC will probably plummet as low as $10,000 before it finally moves towards $30,000. To predict the time when Bitcoin will reach $100,000 is probably hard to predict, but for now, we can only pray that its price does not dive below $20,000. It is not impossible for Bitcoin to reach $100,000 in 2022, although it is unlikely. Several factors need to line up perfectly in order for Bitcoin to increase more than threefold to reach $100,000. First, the world economy needs to hold together, recover, and strengthen. Next, a prolonged period of sustained demand and buying needs to be directed at Bitcoin. Last, larger entities such as institutions, central banks, and countries need to incorporate Bitcoin into their strategies, monetary policies, and economies. With each of these factors in mind, I think it is more likely that Bitcoin will reach $100,000 in 2023 or 2024. Should you invest $1,000 in Bitcoin right now? Before you consider Bitcoin, you'll want to hear this. Our award-winning analyst team just revealed what they believe are the 10 best stocks for investors to buy right now. And Bitcoin wasn't one of them. The online investing service they've run for 2 decades, Motley Fool Stock Advisor, has beaten the stock market by 3x*, and right now, they think there are 10 stocks that are better buys. So this was all for today's video. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video tomorrow. Until then, peace out.